Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, how's everyone doing? So you remember the MTA case number that had opened this summer? Case number 0684-2824. That's 0684-2824. About the wrong information about the elevator and escalator page errors that show that the direct travel directions go from one elevator to another that's not in service. So I called out Lisa Lee, Assistant Director of Customer Engagement, and I have this email that's dated from November 14th. Sorry, my screen's a little bit messy. November 14th. It's a response for MTA customer service writing to me that Tom N. He's from MTA Customer Engagement. So he's writing says that the MTA shares your interest in offering accurate and up-to-date guidance to customer information. We appreciate both your diligence and vigilance in this matter, and we will be following through with a thorough, mind you, a thorough review of all travel alternative information. Again, I'll repeat, a thorough review of all travel alternative information to ensure that all advisories are current and correct. Okay, fine. Right now, today is December 13th, and I'm on the MTA website on the elevator escalator status. Some have been fixed, others haven't, including new ones that have been posted since that email. So let's go right into capital replacement only. Let's look at 125th Street and the travel alternatives for 125th, and I'll go right down. This one appears to be fixed. This elevator is out of service for replacement. Read on for travel alternatives. This information looks correct, except the problem is the BX15 no longer travels into Manhattan due to the Bronx bus redesign, which was initiated in 2023. If Tom N really cared about his work, then he would be fixing this information as well. As well. So the travel directions, I'll tell you, be honest with you, they are correct. It's just this information is wrong. So let's look at the next one here. 14th Street Union Square. And it says two of four elevators are out of service. Let's look at the travel alternatives for this one. These information here looks correct as well. All right, that looks correct. All right, fine. Let's look at the other elevator for the other elevator, 14th Street Union Square. That one looks correct. They looks like they did fix this one. So okay, fine. I'm not gonna read through it. Okay. Let's go down to 14th Street and 8th Avenue. This is one of the more interesting ones here. This elevator is out of service replacement, and it looks like that information is correct. Okay, good. The stuff for 161st Street, all of them are correct. How much I can tell you that much. So just so you know, they did correct the BX13 to the BX32, which is the correct bus route that runs on Jerome Avenue, and you can pick it up at 175th or Walton Avenue in the Bronx here. So generally, that information is correct. The only one problem is that the BX32 as a bus connection, it runs several blocks away on Morris Avenue. It really doesn't. It's not really a connection, but I guess it's a half a mile walk. So I'll let this slide for now. I'll let this slide for now. Okay. So now let's look at 34th Penn, travel alternatives. These elevators are out of service for capital replacement. So this one, these two seem to be correct. Okay. Stations under rehabilitation, Atlantic Avenue, they seem to be correct. Bedford Park Boulevard. Let's go back to 161st Street. Sorry. They still have on some of them at 161st Street that the elevators at Fordham Road are still out. They have since been fixed. They've since been fixed. I'm not too sure about that. Let's go back down to new ones here. Crown Heights, Utica Avenue. Let's start with that one. Yes, let's start with that one. Crown Heights, Utica Avenue. There are two elevators at this station. One from the mezzanine to the platforms, both the New Lots Avenue bound platform and the Manhattan bound platform on the low level. The New Lots Avenue bound platform is on the upper level. The Manhattan bound platform for the 3 and 4 is on the low level. And that's from the mezzanine to both platforms here. The other elevator that's out is the street to mezzanine. That's the street from Eastern Parkway, west of Utica Avenue, to the mezzanine area. So both elevators are out. So you cannot use the station at all. And they're both out until fall 2026. So let's look at the travel alternatives for the street to mezzanine elevator first. If you're on the street, okay, take the downtown Brooklyn B45 bus on St. John's to Sterling Place, then proceed to Eastern Parkway for Manhattan bound. Okay, that's fine. If you're on the mezzanine, see a station agent to re-enter through the fare gate and use the nearby elevator to return to the Manhattan bound platform on the lower level and take a 3 to Eastern Parkway. Then use the elevators and take the bus back to St. John's and Washington Avenue, a few blocks away, to Utica Avenue. Take the elevator to the low level. But wait a minute. The elevator from the mezzanine to the platforms is not working. So let's look at the travel alternatives for the mezzanine to platforms. If you're on the mezzanine, use elevator to exit the station. Use elevator to exit the station. You cannot use the elevator to exit the station because the elevator is not working. Dingbats, if you really have any passion for these jobs here at the MTA, you will look at this and try and fix these mistakes that's so obvious like this one here. Let alone all this stuff here. Dingbats, which means that both elevators have the wrong travel alternatives here. DeKalb Avenue was recently fixed. Let's look at Jackson Heights, Roosevelt Avenue, another winner here. That they claim that they fixed it, and it was as part of the emails that Tom N had said that they will look into. So if you're on the mezzanine, you could take the EF or R to Queens Plaza and transfer to a Jamaica-bound or Forest Hills-bound train. If you're on the platform, take the train to Forest Hills and then use elevators to transfer to Manhattan-bound EFMR to Jackson Heights, Roosevelt Avenue, or exit station and take the bus. You cannot, under any circumstances, take any of these elevators because both the mezzanine to Queens-bound EFMR is out, and the Manhattan-bound EFMR to the mezzanine area are also out. So both elevators to both platforms of the E, F, M, and R, both the Manhattan-bound and the Jamaica-bound platforms are out. Yet both of them say you take the elevator, if you're on the Manhattan-bound platform, street access, transfer Jamaica-bound E and F for Forest Hills-bound Jackson Heights, Roosevelt Avenue, and then take the elevator out, which you cannot do. That's impossible. If you're on the mezzanine, take the EMFMR for the Forest Hills. That elevator is out. How can you be on the mezzanine? You cannot take any of those elevators. You're stuck. You are stuck. If you're on the transfer mezzanine, exit station, take the Q32 bus. Or take the Manhattan-bound 7 Woodside, use the elevators exit station, take the Astoria-bound Q18 to 54th Street, elevator southeast corner here, or Q53 here. So you have to take the Q18 back. But wait a minute. What would it say about the Q18? Didn't they have the redesign as well? I'll have to look into that later. I'll get back to that. Here's another one here. Jamaica 179th Street. All three elevators, the street level to the mezzanine, and the two mezzanine elevators to both platforms of the F line are all out of service. Yet all of them tell you to take one elevator to the elevator here. For example, if you're on the platform and you're on just get off the F train at the last stop, proceed to the boarding area and let the conductor know that you need to ride the F train as it changes to the Manhattan-bound platform. Ask the conductor to confirm that the F train will remain in service. If yes, board the train and remain on it until it returns to the opposite track, and then exit the station, which is impossible. You cannot exit the station. Hello. If the train will not remain in service, please wait for the next F train and follow the above instructions. You cannot, you see the station agent for instructions how to exit the station. I'll tell you what the instructions are. You have to go up all those stairs and get help to get up all those stairs because all the elevators are not working here. And also, this bus information is missing some older bus routes here. I guess it's Q82 here. So I guess this seems to be somewhat up to date here. Let's look at Prospect Park. Here's another one here. Let's look. Prospect Park has two elevators on the Lincoln Road side. They're both from the street to either the Coyan-bound, Brighton Beach-bound platform, that's the Brooklyn-bound platform, and from the street, which is the station house, to the Manhattan-bound platform of the B&Q, as well as the Franklin Avenue shuttle, which departs and arrives mostly from the Manhattan-bound side. Now let's look at the travel alternatives for the Coyan-bound platform. If you're on the street, use elevator to take a Manhattan-bound B or Q to Atlantic Avenue. That elevator to take the Manhattan-bound platform is out of service. Hello. If you're on the platform, take the Coyan-bound B and Q at Kings Highway and then take the buses back to Prospect Park. But then since it happened, Church Avenue had already opened up with new elevators. So instead of going back to Kings Highway now, all the way down to Kings Highway, they can take the Coyan-bound B or Q train to Church Avenue, take the B35, take the B16 bus back to the Prospect Park station directly, or take the B35 to the B41. But the B16 will run you directly and drops you off right in front of the Prospect Park station house. Here. See, the B16 that runs on Caton Avenue will take you back to Prospect Park. And on the other one here, Capital Replacement Street to Manhattan-bound platform, travel alternatives. Use elevator to take a Coyan-bound B or Q. Impossible. But yet, it does say that the B and Q to Church Avenue instead of the other one. So even though both elevators are out, how come it shows that the B and Q, you can take the B and Q to Church Avenue, but the other one says you have to take it to Kings Highway? Now, it tells you then use elevators to transfer to northbound B or Q. For S service to Franklin Avenue station, take a Greenpoint bound B48 bus to Classen Avenue, Fulton Street. If you're on the platform, take a Manhattan-bound B&Q to Atlantic Avenue, Barclays Center. Then either transfer across the platform to Coyan-bound B or Q to Prospect Park. You cannot exit the station at Prospect Park. The elevator is out of service. Ding, ding, ding. Man, I'm telling you, these MTA people, they're coming here for a paycheck and they have absolutely zero passion for what goes on the website. Absolutely zero passion. Crazy here. Oh, Simpson Street. Even though this elevator is under investigation, and I'm not going to go into it because it does show that the BX11 still goes to Simpson Street, even though it incorrectly states that, and it's running across to 174th Street here. And also, I believe the BX27 is no longer going to Simpson Street and ends in Soundview as well. All right, so, duh. Here's another winner. West 4th Street, Washington Square. Now, it says here, these directions kind of make sense. They're okay, but look at this one here. To exit street, take an uptown B, D, or F, and M to 34th Street, Herald Square. Fine. Use elevators to transfer to downtown BD, F&M to West 4th Street or exit station and take a downtown M1, M2, M3, M5, or M55 at 33rd Street and 5th Avenue to 8th Street and 5th Avenue. Hello, duh. Is something wrong here? The M5 does not go to 8th Street and 5th Avenue anymore. It has not done so in years. So why would you tell them to take the M5 or M55 bus to 8th Street and 55th Avenue when only the M55 bus runs south of 32nd Street, as well as the M1, 2, and 3 as well? Duh, and bus connections, M5 northbound. The M5 does not run at West 4th Street. It's the M55. These people are just so dumb. Dumber than dumb. I mean, if you want to look for elevator and escalator status here, accessibility here, let's look at accessibility here. Let's look at accessibility. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. Here, I'll give you another reason why the MTA does not do it right here. Let's go back to the home page and let's look at the service status. Let's click on each line as an example. Taking the example, let's say the F line at 179th Street. It still has a wheelchair symbol here, even though there's no ADA access at this station here. Same thing for Jackson Heights, Roosevelt Avenue. And that's on all maps at the stations too. When you look at the dynamic maps as well on screen, the electronic maps, yep, that shows us not working either. Let's also look at, let's look at, go back to the F, West 4th Street. West 4th Street shows that here, and it's not working in one direction here as well. So let's also look at, B, okay. 161st Street, Yankee Stadium. Says elevator is ADA accessible. Nope, it's not ADA accessible. No elevators working in that station. 125th Street, elevator is not working in the uptown side. I believe it was uptown side. West 4th Street, elevator is not working on one side. DeKalb Avenue, elevator is not working at this station. Atlantic Avenue, some elevators are not working at this station. Prospect Park, elevators are not working at that station, and so on and so on. It's like it's too lazy to try to update this information here. It's so crazy here. I'll go back to accessibility in a second. This is the MTA accessibility page. This is the last one I'm going to go over briefly here. Going to accessible travel, list of accessible travel by subway. Okay. And here's a list of accessible stations here. And these are a list of MTA accessible stations which were updated December 8th this past Monday, December 8th, 2025. So let's go into each symbol here. Let's go into the Bronx, for example. This is Brooklyn. Let's go down to the Bronx. Or even Brooklyn here. Euclid Avenue. Euclid Avenue for the A and C. The bus connections are the B13, B14, Q7, and Q8. The Q7 no longer goes to Euclid Avenue due to the Queens bus redesign. It has absorbed and go to the J train right now, the entire length of Rockaway Boulevard. I believe 75th Street. That's one example where they just mess up here. Let's go into the Bronx, because that's easy, because that's for the 2023. Bus connections, BX4, BX4A. There's no, I believe it's the BX4A is not the one that goes to 3rd Avenue, 149th Street. One of these two routes, the BX4 or the 4A, is only running between Simpson Street and Parkchester. The other route goes to 3rd Avenue, 149th Street. So this information is wrong. Also missing is the M125, which was actually a split of the BX-15. The BX-15 now serves the Bronx, and the M125 serves from 149th Street down to Manhattan. 161st Street, Yankee Stadium, 170th Street. It shows the BX-18, not the BX-18A and B. 231st, 230. Let's go to East 180th Street. They actually got this one correct, BX-40 and 42. Wow, that's a surprise right there. Let's see. Let's go to Mashore Parkway. That seems to be correct. Pelham Parkway, White Plains Road. BX-12, BX-22, BX-39 here. Simpson Street. Hold on. Gun Hill. Gun Hill Road, White Plains Road. Gun Hill Road, White Plains Road, bus connections, BX-28, BX-30. BX-30 no longer goes to Gun Hill Road and White Plains Road. It goes to Pelham Parkway now. Duh, since 2023. And it's not even listed, the BX-30 here, Pelham Parkway. Right here. Oops. And as I told you, the BX-4 and BX-4A. The BX-11 here, that's wrong. Westchester Square here. Now let's go Queens, because there's some routes that have been changed in Queens. 21st Street, Queensbridge. Oh, wow, they took out the Q102. They corrected that one here. Wow. Looks like they did some changes. But if they did some changes, why couldn't they do the rest of the changes in the Bronx here? Why they have to go into one and not the other here? It seems like, it's crazy. It's crazy. So isn't this a Q115 and not the 114? And the 113 does not go to there. I'm just asking for a friend, you know. Here, Q50, they took out Q48. Okay. Q64, Q74. Okay, it's at the Q74. Howell Beach JFK Airport. Q11. Jamaica 179th Street. They have this here. Jamaica Center, Parsons Archer. They have Q82. So where's for Jamaica Center and Parsons Archer? Where's the Q4, the Q5, the Q84, the Q85, the Q86, and the Q87? I'm just asking here. All right, I'll still get together my Queens bus routes here, but Q38, part of the Q38 does not go there anymore. But I could be wrong, because I remember the Q14 now. Listen, forget about the Queens bus routes, but they need to get all this stuff together. That's all I can say. All right, but clearly, I do know about the Q7. It does not go over to Euclid anymore. That much I can tell you. Anyway, you have a good night.